what's going on too. So today we're going to talk about the weigh station. What happens if you get called on the intercom to come inside? Now, I used to always think, and I'm speaking for Florida scales, for some reason at nighttime, the scales in Florida at night, they're always open no matter what interstate, whether you run 10, 75, 95. If it's nighttime, you can almost guarantee you that all those scales are going to be open. Georgia, on the other hand, daytime they're open, but at nighttime, majority of the time, those scales are closed, so you can almost get away with weight. But when you come into Florida, nah. So let's talk about it. So of course, as you guys know, if you have a transponder, it's gonna either flash green or red. Red obviously means you pull in, and then there's some scales where they're digital, so you don't go off of the transponder, you go off of whatever that sign says. So if it tells you to enter, obviously you got to enter. If you bypass, then that means you're good. Now, if it says enter, that does not necessarily mean that you're gonna get called in the office. What that means is sometimes if they're able to read your weight, while you're coming in, they'll go ahead and bypass you within the scale. And then sometimes you could be perfectly on weight, but they're still gonna call you in. Well, not call you in, they're still gonna make you stop on the scale and they're gonna weigh you. Why they do that, I don't know, because there's been times where I could have a set of empties and they'll still make me sit on the scale for some strange reason. Now, usually you will know if you're gonna get called inside, because typically when you are good, you'll sit on the scale for maybe 3 to 7 seconds, and then you'll get the green light to proceed. Now, if you're sitting there for a longer period of time, like 20 seconds or more, what they're gonna do is they're gonna either tell you on the intercom, driver, go ahead and pull in, or what they'll do is they'll come outside, with their little clipboard, they'll start writing your tractor number, your trailer numbers, and they're gonna explain to you that you are over on such and such. Now, let's talk about if you pull a 53 or just a van, because I've been popped with both vans and pups. So if you were pulling a van, 48 foot or 53, they're gonna tell you, again, you're over on such and such. Would you like to slide your tandems? Now, at least for the scales that I've gone through, they've all gave you that option to slide your tandems. Now, I don't know if all scales do that. I imagine that all of them would give you that option. But anyway, point is they're gonna give you the option to slide your tandems. You can either say yes, slide them, they'll say okay, go ahead and slide them, and then they'll make you come back around. Now, if you decide you don't wanna do that, then they'll say, okay, just pull into one of the spots, come in with your driver's license, tractor registration, trailer registration. Now, some of them, they may or may not ask to see your bills. They haven't asked me, but not to say that they won't do that, but at least for me, they haven't asked. So you'll come in, they'll explain it again to you, you were over on such and such, and then you'll pretty much just wait. It can take them anywhere from 5 to maybe 15 minutes to write the ticket. Now, let me explain to you guys. When you get this ticket, they're gonna explain to you that it's not gonna go directly towards you. So it's not gonna hurt you, it's not gonna affect your license, it's not gonna hurt your CSA or your DAC report, none of that stuff. Those tickets go to the company. They're gonna explain it to you, just give it to your company and then they will pay it. Now, if you're an owner operator, I don't know how that works. And as far as company drivers, at least for my company, they pay it. I don't know if all companies are like that, but at least for the LTL carrier I'm at, AAA Cooper takes care of those tickets for me. Now, don't make it a habit, obviously, of getting these tickets. So that's why you want to make sure that you're good on weight. Now, if you pick up relay freight, goddamn, because sometimes I pick up relay freight from guys that come from Georgia or maybe Alabama or what have you. Now, sometimes, like I said, if you're coming from Georgia, those scales are going to be closed. They could be over and they won't get popped. But when you come into Florida, it's a different story. And of course, DOT, they're not going to care if you just picked it up over the state line or not. Point is, you're over. Now, let's talk about if you pull pups. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. With pups, you can't have any more than 10,000 pounds in the nose. Anything over 10K in the nose, you're going to be over. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, weight-wise, in a single pup, the most you can have is 24,000 and some change. If I'm wrong on that, let me know. But I've never had anything over 24.5. So Now with pups, you know, as you guys know, for those who don't know, with pups, we don't have tandem, so you can't slide them. So if you're over, you're just gonna be over. You know, it is what it is. Now with pups, again, it's easy to get overweight because you have to factor the weight of the tractor, the amount of fuel you have, the weight of the first pup, you know, the weight of the dolly, and then the weight of the rear pup. So it's easy to hit over 80,000 pounds, you know, depending on how much freight you have. Now, I've only been over gross maybe 3 times, and all 3 of those times, it was relay freight that came out of Dallas. Anytime I get freight out of Dallas, for some reason, it's always been heavy. Now, again, they're gonna explain to you, they're gonna tell you, you know, you're over on your drives or you're just over gross. Now, again, there's nothing you could do with that. So it'll be the same situation. You know, they're gonna tell you to pull around, come in with your license, your tractor registration, and the registration for both trailers. Now, being that the registration, you know, they're kept in the little slots, a lot of times they're wet, so they're not gonna be able to read it. So I don't really know what they do and how they handle that, but again, they're gonna explain to you that you're overweight or you're over gross, and they're gonna explain to you again that it's not gonna hurt you, it just goes to the company. Now, again, not to say that they won't come out there and inspect your equipment, because I mean, they can. They've came out there, I think, once and just looked at the license tag, you know, make sure everything was good. But at nighttime, from what I know, I've never heard of anybody getting a level 1, level 2, level 3 at nighttime, because usually FHP is, you know, tucked away. Not to say that they won't do that, but from my experience, I've never seen it. Georgia scales, you know, there's usually none of them open. Not to say that they'll never be, but when I run up to Georgia, they're typically all closed. All right, y'all, so that's pretty much what happens with weigh station. Now, in an upcoming video, I'm gonna talk about what happens when you get a level 2, or I'm sorry, a level 1, level 2, level 3, because I've gotten all 3 within my career. So stay tuned for that video, but that's pretty much how it works when you get pulled in. All right, y'all, so I'll catch y'all in the next one. Oh yeah, guys, I did forget to mention, I apologize. I forgot to mention in the video that should you get a ticket, they're gonna also explain to you that if you go to another scale, that they cannot, they won't be able to give you another ticket. All you will have to do is just show them the ticket and then they'll wave you on. Now, from my experience, you know, since I usually will go through at least maybe 2 to 3 scales a night, I'll get popped at the first scale. So like, let's just say I'm coming from Georgia. Once I hit that first scale, you know, in Jasper, those of y'all that know, y'all know exactly what scale that is. If I go through Jasper, you know, I'll get popped there. But then when I go through the next scale, whether that could be the one in Ocala, you know, I'll typically just get the bypass, so they won't even pull me into the scale. So I'm pretty sure that means they will have put the information in, so that next scale will already know that I've been popped, so there's no need for them to try to pop me again.